Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope you're having a wonderful day. Before we dive into the video, please make sure to hit subscribe so you don't miss any updates. There are moments in life when even the most familiar faces surprise us. When laughter turns into silence and someone we thought we knew reveals a truth that changes everything. That's exactly what happened when Mark Consuelos, the beloved actor, husband, and morning show co-host, sat down and shared an emotional confession that left fans and his wife, Kelly Ripa, completely stunned. No one saw it coming. Not after decades of smiles on screen, playful banter with Kelly, and the picture-perfect image of a marriage that seemed unshakable. But behind those smiles was a story few ever suspected. A story of insecurity, fear, and self-discovery. And when Mark finally spoke his truth, Kelly's response spoke volumes, more than any interview ever could. Stay with me, because as this story unfolds, you'll see a side of Mark Consuelos and Kelly Ripa that few have ever witnessed. By the end, you might even look at love and yourself a little differently. It began quietly during a recent taping of Live with Kelly and Mark. The segment was meant to be lighthearted, just another Tuesday morning. A few laughs, some banter, maybe a story about their kids. But that day, Mark's tone shifted. His posture changed. The charming grin that usually carried him through every on-air moment softened for just a second. He took a deep, weighted breath, the kind you take before sharing something you've kept inside for years. Then he said it. "I've spent most of my life trying to prove that I'm enough." The audience went silent. Kelly glanced at him, her eyes widening slightly, as if to ask, "Where is this coming from?" He continued, "You reach a point where success doesn't fill the emptiness anymore. You smile for the cameras, but inside, you're still searching." It wasn't scripted, it wasn't planned. For the first time, the usually composed Mark Consuelos let his guard down, and everyone watching, both in the studio and at home, could feel the raw emotion in his voice. To understand what led him to this moment, we need to go back. Before Live with Kelly and Mark, before Riverdale,
Mark
before the
Consuelos was
fame.
born into a hard-working family. His parents, of Mexican and Italian descent, raised him with strong values: perseverance, humility, and faith. He wasn't born into privilege. He earned every ounce of his success. When he met Kelly Ripa on the set of All My Children in the 1990s, sparks flew instantly. They married young in Las Vegas, a love story that seemed pulled straight from the soap opera where they met. Yet even as their careers soared, Mark carried a quiet struggle, a constant whisper of doubt. Every time Kelly's star rose higher, hosting shows, writing best-selling books, becoming one of America's most beloved TV personalities, Mark found himself asking, "Am I enough compared to her?" It wasn't jealousy. It was a fragile, universal ache. The worry that your best might never truly be seen, even by those you love. Fame brings admiration, but also an invisible pressure. Every morning they left their New York townhouse knowing cameras might be waiting. Every smile had to be perfect, every gesture scrutinized. Mark once admitted that he often felt like a supporting character in someone else's story. Over time, that feeling grew heavier. When Kelly was celebrated for her hosting, her charisma, her wit, Mark sometimes felt the world saw him only as Kelly Ripa's husband. Yet he loved her fiercely, a paradox many couples understand, loving someone deeply while quietly wrestling with your own insecurities. He kept it hidden for years, until that morning, when he finally couldn't anymore. As Mark spoke those vulnerable words on air, Kelly didn't interrupt. She didn't smile it away. She didn't joke. She simply listened. The camera captured it. Her eyes soft, lips pressed together, hands folded tightly. Her silence spoke volumes. It was the silence of understanding, of someone who had seen the struggle, but perhaps never heard it expressed aloud. When he finished, Kelly leaned closer and whispered, "You've always been enough. You just didn't need the world to tell you." The studio erupted in applause. But for those following their journey, it wasn't just a touching TV moment. It was a milestone in their marriage, shared live with millions. Later, in a behind-the-scenes interview, Mark explained why he opened up. He didn't plan to say it, he admitted. It just came out. But it felt like something I needed to say aloud, not just for me, but maybe for someone else watching who feels the same way. Kelly later told People magazine that they'd shared many deep conversations in the days following.